Hi everyone, I'm John Lukey, writer and director and actor, here with Daniel Woloszczuk, played Bill Creed.
Hi.
And Robert Griffiths, who played Buck Harrison.
Mister, you don't want to be here.
I'd say this looks like exactly where I have to be. You just keep your head down, you hear? Stay out of trouble.
So, as you probably could tell, a lot of inspiration drawn from the old spaghetti westerns. So there's a lot of things that maybe nowadays would be considered more cliche, but we wanted it to be a bit of a love letter to those films. Other inspiration was actually a more modern film, which is Hateful Eight, if you've seen that, Quentin Tarantino. We kind of saw how much can be done in just one setting. And with our zero budget, self-funded, we thought that was a perfect idea to just practice a little bit with the lighting. We tried to create a lot of the atmosphere with the warm light from the lanterns, kind of contrasted with the cool light from the moonlight as well. And we did trial, I was just talking to one of the other filmmakers a minute ago, we did trial sort of a more black and white version to make it look more old school, but we thought that we lost something with the lighting. We put a lot of effort into the lighting. But that actually ended up being the hardest thing in editing, because it was so dark that once we kind of boosted it, we lost a bit of the sharpness of the picture. But I think that almost worked in our favour as well, because it made it look a bit more old-fashioned, and the style was maybe a bit more in tune with what we were looking for. So yeah, and the other things we tried to focus on was the sound, and hopefully that came across when we were watching that. Although it was just in the one space, we tried to have kind of ambience coming in from outside, like coyotes howling in the background, the sound of horses and so on and so forth, to make it seem like a bigger world than obviously just the shed that we were actually filming the film in. But it was a great experience, great fun, and I've known these guys forever as well. We've done a few projects together now, and yeah, looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
You want to know why I'm here? I'm here to collect.
Just what is it that you're collecting? And boy, your life may depend on this answer you give to me now.
The lighting was probably the biggest challenge. So we filmed it over 2 evenings, so we had to wait for sunset, and it was the springtime, so that was about 7:30, 8 o'clock. And then we would film until like 5 a.m. The lights that we used were constantly running out of batteries, and it was so dark, wasn't it? So I think the lighting was a struggle, but it kind of gave us the atmosphere that we wanted. And then outside of that, because we had zero budget, minimal crew, I think there were 5 of us in total within the space. And whoever wasn't in the scene was kind of chipping in with camera work and stuff like that. So as with any zero budget production, I think the challenge is just the team effort, but that's also what makes it quite fun and collaborative. So the challenge was also a fun challenge, I think.
I'm here to collect you, Mr. Creed. More specifically, your bounty.
You ain't getting a mile down this road before my men realize what's happened.
I guess I'll just have to collect for them too.
Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this. Squeal, boy! Squeal! Get a load of this handsome devil. Says he's armed and highly dangerous.
I was going to say, I really loved the dialogue. I thought you had some really kind of poetic and interesting lines. Was it difficult to sell some of the gravitas? I feel like the cowboy lines. You got to have that grizzly voice. What was that like?
For me, it was definitely, there was a bit of Clint Eastwood chucked in there for sure. I think Ryder is slightly different to the man with no name from the spaghetti westerns, in that he's maybe a little bit more green and a bit more arrogant. And maybe a little bit less stoic, but still stoic. So there was inspiration drawn from that. I think for me, because I kind of grew up with those films as well and loved them so much, that the lines kind of just came naturally. I did a bit of research into like what was common slang and terminology. So, for example, when Bill Creed says, "Oh, you're mean enough to hunt bears with a hickory switch," and stuff like that. So, yeah, a bit of research around that. I think once you find the language, it comes more naturally. As with any kind of acting, it's just kind of finding that physical presence of the character once you're there. And I think the costume helps as well. Once we were in costume, you just feel straight away like, oh, this is awesome, I'm a cowboy, or a bounty hunter in my case. But how did you guys feel?
Yeah, no, go for it, Rob.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So, I mean, with my character, right, he's not a nice person, right? He's the heavy, he's the bad guy's accomplice, and I think I tried first to sound kind of bigger and heavier and more gravelly, but also like he's a character who enjoys the violence, and I tried to really kind of bring that enjoyment of the moment across. And I sort of find, I don't know if this comes across, but whenever we film a project like this, I try from the moment I arrive to almost be as much in character as possible, and try and be the character while I'm there. And I don't know if that's helpful or problematic for the crew.
Yeah.
But he's very much a character that's not like me. Like you can obviously hear my voice now; it's very different. So I find that doing a voice and giving it something different helps you to become the character. Personally.
Yeah, I mean, most of the credit goes to John. Like, he wrote the script, and it was all his vision, and he did all the editing, and the lighting made it all look fantastic.
Yeah, props.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the character and the voice, I think we all did our best, like Red Dead Redemption 2 voices. But it's, like John says, once you put the costume on and you start reading the lines and going through it, you make the character your own a little bit more, and we added our own little nuances to all our performances. And yeah, definitely a bit of a sore throat the next day, but trying to do the gruff voice.
We did try each
a lot of fun.
Tried each scene a few different ways as well, didn't we? In terms of the intention behind the lines, and I thought that the dynamic between Bill Creed and Buck was something that if we had more time and more budget, we'd explore more as well. Because there's something between those two where Bill kind of trusts Buck to do the dirty work, but he doesn't actually like him as a person. I think that was quite an interesting dynamic as well.
Yeah.
Now I'm guessing that one of us is gonna be food for crows in the morning, but it sure as shit ain't gonna be me.